the silver mines. There's a kind-hearted woman, she's looking so fine, always taking care of her community, bringing folks together is her cup of tea. She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
And welcome to this week's episode of City Talk. I'm About Town Deb, your host. And once again, I'm at the new studio, the MRC, Musicians Rehearsal Center in Sparks, Nevada, close to Reno. Just if they say a few sparks away, I don't know. There's some kind of thing they say. I don't know. Do you know what that is? There's some joke they do about it's a spark away. I don't know. Or too close, it's hot. I don't know.
Something about
if you're listening,
sparks,
I would.
It's Reno East, man. Let's call
I'm
it
just saying, but there is something. So, as you know, you've seen Christian Fenix a few times, my producer, my friend.
Or heard me last week.
He was, that's right. We were with Lacey J. Dalton last week. What'd you think?
Oh, she's so dynamic. Like I said last week, I wish we had more time with her.
Well,
she has
we'll have her
stories
back. There's stories that she didn't even touch the surface.
Right.
Because I wanted her to share the stories on the bus. Because she's traveled on the bus with like Willie Nelson and all those guys.
Amazing.
And she's got stories that she said some she can't tell. But
I'm sure.
I'm really excited about having her on. But today, I'm excited to have your new business partner, Blaine Dolly. Welcome, Blaine.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
It's really cool because there's so much going on at the MRC that I thought, you know what, this is going to be my new home. So I might as well introduce you to the team that's going to help rock the About Town Deb brand. So I'm happy about that. But before I do that, I want to thank the sponsors. So we want, of course, the new name, Angel Fenix Productions.
You got it.
There you go.
That's because I know we switch off. So Angel Fenix Productions. So that's perfect. We have an angel and the Phoenix from the Rising, and they're going to be producing lots of great stuff in this building. So that's perfect. And we have Crystal Basin Cellars. As I mentioned, we have my new white Sauvignon Blanc. I have my red blend. And Crystal Basin has so many amazing wines. So you can always go to crystalbasin.com and you could check out the wines. Wild River Grille, right by the river. I'm sure you've been to Wild River Grille.
I know Rado.
Isn't Rado great?
He's awesome.
And Chuck.
Yeah.
Blaine, have you been to Wild River Grill? Because you moved here recently from California, Southern Cal, right?
Yeah, I've been in LA for the last 11 years and was ready to kind of get the heck out of there.
Yeah, well, anyway. So you need to. If you have not been.
It's delicious.
It's amazing. Yeah. And Surratt Law Practice, Kim has been by my side. So I'm really excited. Normally we say a little bit about how our week went, but I have a feeling my last 2 weeks right now, actually, I'm heading to, when you're listening to this, we're recording, I will be in Palm Desert or I will be in Boise. I'm going to be doing a little bit of about town traveling, visiting other cities and seeing what's going on in their town and seeing families. So I'm going to be doing that. But before, a couple weeks ago, I didn't really get to share. I had my first official wine walk hosting at the National Automobile Museum.
No kidding.
We had Crystal Basin's Rosé, we had my Sauvignon Blanc, and we had their bubbles. So, and they had Woody. So there's a singer from Placerville, Jay Woody. I didn't even know they hired him. So he's like, "Hey Deb, I'm going to be in town. I'm at this museum thing. I hope I'll get to see you." I'm like, "I'm pouring wine at the museum thing." So what a small world.
It really is.
It was really cool. So I know that there's so many musicians in that area, the Placerville area, that would love to come up and use some of the equipment in the sound rooms you have here. So I'm just going to jump right in. So first of all, Christian, once again, I really want to thank you for helping my About Town Deb podcast, City Talk. I've had on the Town Tuesdays. You've been with me as I'm progressing and you've helped me build the confidence to get where I'm going to go. And I know being right here, I'm where I need to be. So I would love you to share a little bit about how you met Blaine and how this partnership developed.
It all just happens because the universe wills it so. Like meeting you, 2.5, 3 years ago, however long ago.
It's been at least 3. It's got to be.
And we were both working separately at a concert event at the Alpine.
I love the Alpine.
It was a great event. It was, I just realized that I put up Lacey J. Dalton's name up there. I'm multitasking
That's
here.
okay. That's good.
But with that being said, he was doing a shoot. I was doing a live stream broadcast, and we got to talking. And then his cousin, who actually owns MRC here, was in the process of buying it.
Wow.
And everything sort of came together, and we realized that through all of this, we work really well together.
Yeah.
You know?
That's really important. I think finding the right person that values what you value and get your soul, get your vibe is really important.
Yeah. It's all about attitude, energy, excitement, and thinking forward. And Christian is definitely that person, and I'm definitely that person. And we just saw the value of like, he's so good at what he does. And
you're good at what you
I'm
do.
good at what I do.
And I don't want to do what he does.
And he doesn't want to do what you do.
I don't want to do what he does.
As that said, this is your first time actually on one of the podcast shows with Christian.
Yeah.
And
Super excited
I'm honored to be the first one. I'm really, no, I love having you here, and I'm really excited to hear about your background, and you're bringing so much to the Reno, Carson, Sparks, Tahoe area. And I know I will get to experience some of it because I know I need to as About Town Deb. We're going to be talking about branding and talking about social media and about video, and what better to have these two guys. So I know in the world out there right now, we're all struggling with Facebook. It's now Meta, right? It's not Facebook. It's Meta.
Sure.
I keep looking at my phone going, where's my, it's Meta. So we're going to be talking about a little bit about social media and branding. And when we come back from the next break, and I want to give my little shout out to Grandma B right now, because it gets busy and I forget. So speaking of the Meta and the internet world, here's one of my quotes. Google only loves you when everybody else loves you first. If you get lots of likes and they like it, they put you on top. If you don't, you're staying on the bottom. So we're going to take our first break, and we're going to rise to the top like a phoenix. We come back. It's About Town Deb with City Talk. Be right back.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother!
We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You're enjoying this episode on Angel Phoenix Productions Podcast Network. To explore a complete lineup of quality programs and media production services, head on over to angelphoenix.com or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Angel Phoenix Productions.
She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back. It's About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy with City Talk. And again, I'm at the MRC in Sparks, Nevada. And I'm lucky enough to be with Christian Fenix right here, my engineer who's been with me. And we have Dwayne Dolly, who is part of your partner. It was my Debbie talk. Oh, man.
It's your evil twin.
Yeah.
Or you, the evil twin.
Dwayne's my evil twin.
So you should be honored. You should be honored because I do this all the time. And I was just so excited to be here. But I want you to expand a little bit more on the co-branding, the partnership, the evolution. And then I want to hear about your history in LA because that's kind of a big deal around here.
Yeah,
so Christian, you take it over and do some chatting.
Yeah. So, we started out really talking about doing some music production and really utilizing the space that, his cousin Matt Reardon has here at MRC and how we can do it in a way that nobody else is doing it. You've got the high level of video quality that, Blaine's experience brings, the superior sound that we've got here, the ability to edit it in a way that looks like anything you would have seen on MTV or
That's
VH1.
So cool.
And things just sort of snowballed from there the more we worked together. And so, we've taken music performances that we've shot, and we did the Live at Lou's pilot with Daughtry, which is available on YouTube.
So
from
Live at
Daughtry.
Lou's, tell me what that is.
So Live at Lou's is a TV pilot, a series pilot. Think in the vein of VH1 Storytellers or MTV Unplugged.
Okay. I recognize that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
but bring in a documentary style to it to intercut in between the music and let people get to know the artists, the musicians that they already know and love.
Personally, up front. Personally.
Exactly. The stories behind their songs.
It's
a different look on, their life on the road and what celebrity musicians do, and just kind of get to know them, because you often just get these quick sit down interviews with these rock stars or just something on the fly, and we want to kind of get way more intimate with them and talk about their life and you name it. It's just kind of something a little more unique, and then we add them doing a show too here, so we'll have them do 4 or 5 songs and then maybe take them on an adventure or just talk life.
Take them on an adventure.
Yeah.
You mean like go on an adventure?
Yeah, going on an adventure.
Experience Northern Nevada.
Yes. I like that.
Whether it's going skiing, jumping out of planes, taking a motorcycle
jumping out
drive.
of planes?
I do it.
You've jumped out of a plane?
I have probably about 1,500 skydives.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been doing it a long time.
Have you done it?
No.
I haven't done it. I don't think I think I might have a heart attack. I don't know. I'd have to go.
It's fun.
Somebody would have to
tandem
hold me.
is what you got.
I would need a tandem. Is it always tandem?
No, then you
don't tandem anymore.
No, if you want to learn how to skydive, you learn. You
just like jump.
Well, yeah, there's a whole school and they teach you, and and you have to pass all these tests, and then you get your license, and then you can jump alone.
I love it.
So, but yeah, tandem would be your first time.
So talk a little bit about your background, because I want the people in our community to really understand where you've come from.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, how I got into film, it was, I kind of have a background of skiing, competitive skiing. And, I was in Truckee, California. And so there, Truckee's all about what? Skiing, extreme sports, motocross, there's more Olympians in that place than almost any other place on earth. And, when I got into filming, I knew I could ski and film. So I started kind of in that world.
Were you filming as you were skiing?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
filming while skiing. And, you have to be able to ski everything these professional extreme skiers are skiing with 50 pounds of gear on your
because you're
back.
filming them.
Because you're filming with them.
So you have to be a good skier.
Yes. And so it kind of started for me there. But, I realized in, a couple years of kind of learning the craft up here that I wanted to broaden my horizons in the film world. And where else in the world do you go besides Hollywood, Los Angeles, right? And so I left Truckee and went down to Hollywood and was fortunate enough to kind of get in with some pretty amazing, networks, Discovery Channel, National Geographic, Oprah. I jumped into the commercial world and feature films and documentary and kind of just, this whole wild ride of adventure that I was seeking. And Los Angeles gave that to me. And I was fortunate enough to have amazing mentors, some of the best filmers, cinematographers and producers and directors in the world, and took me under their wing. And, because I didn't want to just film. I wanted more. I was like, I want to become an amazing cinematographer, but there's more, right? And so I wanted to tell stories. And so I wanted to learn how to direct and produce. And so it all kind of, morphed into this unique career of being able to be a director of photography and then switch gears and go into producing and then go be a director on something. And I wanted to learn from the best, and, I had to go to Hollywood to do that. And I spent 11 years there. And it was the best thing I could have ever done, but my heart was always back in the mountains. And, Reno, Tahoe is, that's what they call it, right?
I know,
Reno,
it's Reno, Tahoe.
And, I love the direction Reno has been going. The city is just evolving, and it's exciting and beautiful and cool and funky. And I saw the opportunity to come up here and start a business where I want to and be in production and marketing and advertising. And so, that's how I got here again.
So I do have a question because
Sure.
on our last show we were talking to Lacey J, and I think you had asked her, or I had asked her who like mentored her, and then you asked her who did she mentor, right. And she also was saying she's really excited that you guys, if somebody wants to get into the music world, you guys can help them from the bottom ground up. So who helped you? I mean, coming from Truckee and then going to LA. And that was what, how many, 12
years ago.
12 years ago.
12 years ago.
How did you have like the courage to just say, I'm going to LA and I'm going to do this? Was there somebody who guided you? Or did you just walk in and knock on doors?
I had a little help, but you just have to have a big set of cojones and just go for it. I've always been a dreamer and a doer. And so if I said I was going to do it, I was going to do it. And that was what it was. And kind of the way it worked is I had my college roommate was actually a cinematographer in Los Angeles. And he kind of helped, make some introductions for me. And that went as far as it went. And that was the start of it. But through that, you start meeting other people and bonding with other people. And it's... what I love about the film world is it's very family oriented, like in the sense of
I wouldn't think that.
You get a crew.
So competitive.
It is though, but you get a crew and you love them and they're really good at what they do. You keep using the same people.
Okay. So
that's where the bond comes. It's like he knows how to do his job. I don't have to tell him anything. He just does it. So you start using the same people over and over and over again. And, through that I met some just amazing directors and producers, and they saw my passion and they saw what I was capable of. And they said, there's more to your career than just being a cameraman or a cinematographer.
That's amazing.
And it all comes down to passion. Those who have the tenacity are the ones who succeed out there. He jumped in both feet and met the right people. I went to film school. I went the more, kind of standardized
You went to
route.
film school?
I did.
I didn't
down
know
in Southern
that.
California.
What else do I need to know about you that I don't know, Christian Phoenix? There's got to be another tidbit you can share with me right now. I kind of need to know. What do I need to know?
So much, but you know so much about me already.
No,
so
I did not
don't
know
what
that.
you don't know.
How do I not know that you went to film school?
Yeah.
You should have shared that.
And so,
What the heck?
film and production has always been my first love. But when I went down there, I, went for audio engineering. I picked up marketing. And when a lot of my friends were going off to the page programs for NBC, ABC.
Oh, you mean to be a page?
To be a page.
So for people who may not know what is a
they're
page.
basically like ushers, gophers. It's the lowest level of the entertainment
So were
industry.
you a page ever?
I wasn't.
You just skipped it.
No, I went the corporate route and started working for Mercedes-Benz, and the timing worked out well enough that I was able to jump in as they were starting up the whole concept of digital sales and digital marketing.
Oh.
And so working with them, going to dealerships and setting up internet sales for cars for Mercedes-Benz.
I knew you worked for Mercedes-Benz. I just didn't know what you were doing with them. So I think I need to have you on more so I can learn more about you. Well, because you're too busy like being an engineer and you're doing the behind the scenes and I'm chatting over here. So
I mean, even sitting here, I'm controlling everything.
I know. He's multitasking.
Yeah.
So I think it's your partnership. Then you each have your own skills and talents, and you could merge them together, and that's how we get
that's exactly
Angel
what we did.
Fenix. How do you? What was the Angel part? Tell me about that.
Elevated Angel Films. I've always been.
No, but was that the name of yours?
That was the name of my production company, and I always felt I've been guided by angels my whole life, and I know I have. So
me too.
For me, it was I knew it had to be Angel something, and it was Elevated Angel Films, and then Christian and I were like, you know what? We're just too good together to
and you're rising up. Yeah.
So he's like, it's Angel Fenix Productions. And I'm like, awesome. Let's do this.
So with that, now that we know the new creation, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. It's about time to have a city talk.
Perfect.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m. and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're enjoying this episode on Angel Phoenix Productions Podcast Network. To explore a complete lineup of quality programs and media production services, head on over to angelphoenix.com or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Angel Phoenix Productions.
You know that's what she said. Come on, let's have some fun with About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back. I am Debbie McCarthy, About Town Deb, your host of City Talk. I'm here with Christian Phoenix.
Hello.
And, we're going to take the Phoenix and we're going to put an angel with it, or the angel and the Phoenix. So I would love you to take over the interview and talk about a little bit what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So in the last segment, we talked about, where Blaine came from, where I came from, and how everything sort of converged together to where we're at now.
Right.
And, it's, yes, we are the new guys in town, but we probably have more experience than a lot of the other production companies, ad agencies, marketing agencies out there. In some cases combined, just in the level of work, the quality of work, and the brands and reach that we've been able to accomplish over our lifetime. And so it's taking the fact that we're not just a production house. We don't just film video with amazing $50,000 cameras, but we're also here as
we have them.
Exactly.
We got them. Keep smiling.
Yeah, we're an ad agency. We're a marketing agency helping other local business, local entrepreneurs up their game and help them drive revenue through high quality content, social media marketing, and doing the things that a lot of other people aren't doing out there right now in driving business back to their companies.
Well, we were talking about brand awareness, and everybody knows I have About Town Deb is my identity, my brand. My brand is, Perky Debbie. I love people. I help. I have a wine. I have a podcast. I love nonprofits. So everybody knows what I love, but when you put it all together, they're like, what do you really do? I know you're always out there, but your job is to, when you have a new client, is to start at the bottom, find out about them, correct?
Yeah.
And find out what their brand is. And you can take it from the beginning stages and then add not just the social media, the marketing and video. You, thank goodness you have an amazing video cinematographer right here sitting with us. And to have that all in one, because usually they're good at one thing, they're good at the other, or it's too overwhelming to take on everybody's stuff with the social media all the way to their commercials, or they need a full-blown show. It takes a lot, and you guys have the experience of all that. So what would be their first step?
Boy, really, it's just a conversation. It's figuring out, okay, what do they want to put out to the world? There was, you were part of a women's conference here recently where she said something very specific. Social media is your social proof. And so,
I like that. That's a good quote.
Yeah. And really what it comes down to is you can have all the best branding in the world, but if people don't know you exist through marketing, then it's not worth its salt.
But you also have to, what you put out there. And I feel like you have to be the brand.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, you can't be like About Town Deb and then I'm, promoting rocks, or I'm, promoting whatever.
Right.
You need to be true to who you are with your brand.
And there's always a story to be told behind every brand. And what is that story you want to tell? Who are you? What's your background? Every successful company out there has started with a story. Every single one. Like, for instance, Victoria's Secret.
Yes.
They started as, basically they had a little story about this English woman who was into her lingerie.
Okay.
And she was Victoria.
So there really was a Victoria.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But no. She wasn't real.
Oh.
That was the perception they put out there to build on their clientele. Yeah. So they built the story. Sometimes they're true, sometimes they're not, but nonetheless, that is their branding story. And every company should have a story. And that's what marketing and advertising and production can do. And
so you've worked on so many different commercials and sets. Do you have one that really stands out to you that was a story? I know you've had so many. I don't know.
Oh
Is there
God,
one,
it's hard to say.
or one or two, or something that you really learned from. You felt passionate about it.
Well, there was a specific company that I worked for years called Shareability, and they're out of Los Angeles, and they are a branding, advertising, production company, kind of very similar to what we're actually doing now, because I loved what they were doing. And they're non-traditional marketing, but they would create amazing stories, and then it's pushed through social media and the internet and whatnot, and it's just every brand has a story. And some of the companies I worked with were Pizza Hut, were Verizon Wireless, Pepsi, Coca-Cola.
Well, they all have their brands.
They all have their brands, but they still are pushing unique stories. It's like, they've been around forever. Everybody knows what Coca-Cola is, but their marketing is always changing, and they're always doing something unique. And like, how, why is it cool? Why stick with Coca-Cola? There's all these other brands. And so, they're always just storytelling. And that's where we kind of excel at the storytelling and the branding of whatever business we're working with.
And if you think about it, it's, brands like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, everybody knows who they are. But marketing is still a big focus for them because there's value in putting those stories out there, in entertaining people and making people feel good about their products. Now think about the entrepreneur, the solo business, the people where nobody knows who they are.
So how do you how
marketing
do you
is even that much more important in telling that story, whether it's lore like Victoria's Secret, or if it's a true history
I had no
that's
idea.
It's true.
bigger than life. It's creating something that people can grasp onto, engage with, and want to do business with.
Yeah.
So with that said, with the whole branding part of it, what is one of the key components to the branding? Would it be video? Would it be the content? I mean, video is really, isn't that kind of a key thing? Talk a little bit about why video is so important right now.
In terms of content, video is king. I wish I had pulled up the stats, but video is the most engaged with piece of content compared to articles, images, slideshows, audio. Video is above and beyond all of those put together. And it's the most shared type of content. Now, you can't have video just by itself and expect results. It's video with engaging descriptions, the story, call to action,
that's
driving
the thing.
people back.
I think isn't that one of the most important things as well? If you could have the most amazing video, and you had just told me that a couple of weeks ago, it's the call to action, which is a big deal to what you guys will make happen. And I'm thinking, I wasn't doing that. I was doing all the fun stuff, the videos. But at the end, I really didn't have a call to action. It was just like, watch the video. It's cool. So that's important.
Most companies, social media is an afterthought. They're only on social media because they have to be. Everybody tells them they have to be. But in reality, compared to print media, radio, television, it is the most inexpensive way to get the biggest bang for your buck. And it's highly trackable.
Yep.
Yes, I have to agree with that, because when I was doing previous things, I wasn't able to really track. And now when I do a post, and especially like with TikTok, and I'm just starting the TikTok. I'm enjoying Reels right now. And it's funny, I could put something out that I just did like in a few seconds, and I'm using a trending song because I'm trying to learn all that, and it'll get like 1,000 views right away. I put something I really worked hard on, and it's like 500. Like, what the heck? Right. So how do you guys as the experts know what's trending and what's?
It's staying on top of it.
It's staying on top of it.
And that's the other big thing is, people go on, they'll take an online social media management course, start a business as a social media manager, and then sort of just rest on the things they learned initially. But as we know, those algorithms change constantly.
I think almost daily sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so it's going through understanding them, knowing what's happening. We are meta certified. So
you are?
Exactly.
I like that.
And Google certified, and knowing what they're looking for.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. When to post. That's a huge thing too.
Well, I think you have to be able to look at the insights, right? The
Yeah.
insights and see what's peaking. See,
Right.
I look at it, but I don't know how to read it. So I think you need a team that can know how to read it. Anybody can look at it, but you don't know how to read it. You're
Sure.
not going to understand it, and you can't utilize those stats.
And a lot of people use social media as a one size fits all. So they'll put the same exact content on Instagram as they do on Facebook, as they do on TikTok, as they do on Twitter.
I'm
And
kind of guilty of that
they're-
sometimes.
Most people are.
All
Sorry.
used very different. So knowing the strengths of each of those, you know, it quadruples the amount of work that needs to be done.
I know because
some,
I'm learning that, and
Yeah.
it's taking me like there was a time when a few years back I didn't know how to even create a video, and I was paying to have them done, and I was like $150, $200 for like this little thing, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, it takes me 3 hours,
Yeah.
and then to film it, I'm like, that was nothing. So I think that we all don't realize that when you see a cute little video, it had to be filmed, it had to be edited, it had to be cut, it had to be this. And then you have to have it for each different platform. So you need a 30 second, you need a minute, you need this.
15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Yeah,
And
vertical,
it's
horizontal.
really hard
Yeah.
to take 5 minutes and go down to 30 seconds. It takes me like 5 hours to do that.
And I think after we get back from the break, it'll be important to talk about the cost aspect,
Let's
cost
do
versus
that.
time,
I'm excited
because
about that.
there is a value to it.
So I'm going to do the quote before we go out. So this one isn't, it's anyway, here we go. The pace of change means that relationship is more important than ever before. And I feel like with the fast pace changing, to have a relationship with your clients and with the people you're working with, you need to have that trust and you need to believe in each other. Like, it's a big deal. If you don't have a relationship with your clients and the people you're working with, they're just going to say, oh, you have to have your heart in it.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. It's About Time, Deb, with City Talk.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind.
Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
You're enjoying this episode on Angel Phoenix Productions Podcast Network. To explore a complete lineup of quality programs and media production services, head on over to angelphoenix.com or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Angel Phoenix Productions.
Ready to help from her toes to her head. Just give her a shout. Call About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk. I'm About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy, your host. And Christian, I am so glad to meet Blaine and you. I feel like you're this team right here. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm constantly changing. And I feel like we have to constantly change, and we have to, and I love the idea that you guys are certified in Meta and Google, because as we said, everything changes daily. I mean, you can go on your social media and go, why is that not working? And I could say, Christian, help. And I feel like it's important to have a team that is well-educated. But
well, it's funny.
And cost-wise. Let's talk about like how that all works together.
You know, it's a cliche, but the Albert Einstein quote, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah. I know.
So true.
In the digital world, that couldn't be more true, you know, and it's ever evolving. It's always changing. And you know, most business owners, if they're a restaurateur, they go in because they're a chef or they're a bartender or they're a savvy business person who is really great at that aspect. And then they also have to do social media, or they also have to do marketing.
That's a tough thing to do. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
To be the business owner and have to do your own social media. I do that. That is tough.
Yeah. So if you look at cost versus time, you know, they're spending twice as much time creating social media content that they hope works.
May not work.
When their time is better spent running their business and taking care of their customers and earning new business and letting people who their whole life is marketing, is content creation, people like us, handle that for them and let them reap the rewards and see that return on investment.
Yeah. I mean, the average business owner, entrepreneur that's self-made is spending at least a bare minimum of 10 hours a week on, you know, social media and posting and this and that. And they're not even sure if they're getting anything out of it, but they know they have to do it. So kind of where we come in is we really understand the market and marketing, advertising, storytelling. We can take it as a company and figure out what your brand is and create that story with you and then develop what we actually need to do. Is it a commercial that is just meant for, you know, telling your story? And then, you know, Christian and I can basically take any story that we make, produce a commercial out of it, and then break it up into all these sorts of different advertising pieces and go into marketing towards Facebook, Meta, Instagram, TikTok, all of these avenues, and we know exactly when to post and how to post, and then you know you're always looking for a call to action or engagement. Engagement is everything, you know.
Yes, and also the headline.
Yep,
because I've been doing a little bit extra homework because I knew we were going to talk about this. And I need the education just as much as people assume I'm on it. Like, I want to say, you said 10 hours a week?
As minimum.
What? Minimum.
Yep.
At times, I could be 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think I spent a lot of time. And when I'm sitting there at 10 at night, midnight, I'm editing videos and photos and I'm exhausted. And then I get up and I'm right back at it. To have somebody on your team that could at least condense that for you so that I should really be out selling more wine. I should be out hanging out with my clients. Yeah. And I mean, I do all that, but that's why I'm editing at 12 at night.
Right.
And so really to have a team behind you where you can like let that go and say, just post it and to know your story. Because You need somebody who knows. If you don't know your story, they're not going to post.
Well, and
right.
here's the other side of the coin. It's either the business owners doing it themselves, or they figure, oh, kids know social media, so they hire some kid right out of high school that is constantly on their own personal, TikTok or Instagram. But that is very different from
a business world.
World. And, you can get them very cheap, but is that working for you?
And cheap still is like $500 a month.
Oh, that would be the cheap version.
Yeah, that would be the cheap version.
But when you also think about it, how often where you're the business owner and you're doing the content and sending it, and then they don't really know what you're thinking of how do I want that, and then you have to redo it. It takes a long time to build that relationship, and it's about relationships with the person you're telling their story. You need to be able to be inside their head, so that you're their voice.
And that's the exact words I was going to say. Coming out of entertainment content creation, it's being able to take somebody else's voice and make it your own, and mimic the way they would say something or the style they would say something, more so than just making it very clinical or generic or overdoing it and making it feel forced.
No, I totally get that. I'm going to give a little kudos to Design on Edge. They have been with my branding since 10, 11 years. And I've had other people write something and she's like, that is not you.
Yeah.
And she literally can, and even when I write something, because I'm not the best speller in the world, but I love the idea that somebody can ask me for a piece about me. And I'm like, Courtney, and she will write it and it is me to the T. She's got my voice. She knows what I'm doing. So you really need to have somebody who could experience your heart and soul when they're writing about it.
Yeah. I mean, the relationships, if we take on a new client, whatever business they're in, we sit and really get to know them. We really do our homework on the history of the company, whether it's been around for a while or if it's brand new and we're trying to figure out, what direction we should take the company. We work intimate with you and we want your opinion. I'm not just going to say, oh, we got this.
No, it takes time.
I need your input and your feel and your, for us to be able to do anything. I'm not just going to create something and say, we did this and that's your company. And you're like, that's not my story.
Well, and a lot of business owners think they know who their audience is. But as soon as we start getting into things and we're able to see all of the numbers and the analytics, turns out their audience is completely different than what they expected.
So where do you both see yourself in 5 years?
We've talked a lot about it.
I want to
know. For us, what we're doing with this marketing hybrid is really our bread and butter for the short-term foreseeable future. We've also got big projects, the Live at Lou's we were talking about, feature films, passion projects that, we would eventually like to
focus more on.
Put the bread and butter stuff into more capable hands so we could focus on those and, really make a name for ourselves and kind of make Reno the new Hollywood, the new go-to place for.
Well, we do have a lot of people moving here.
We do. And Hollywood's sniffing around.
They are.
They've been up
arts
here
and
going,
culture here that we have is top notch, and we have all the foodies and the food scene, and it wasn't always like that. And we have some top chefs in our community, like Colin Smith, Mark Esty, David Holloman. They're all like top. I think Colin and Mark Esty have both been on like Top Chef, and so I feel like we've got the talent, and I feel like you coming from California and both of you're going to be able to help raise us all up.
Yeah,
and I think it's about everybody supporting each other. To help make that happen, and I know that I'm grateful.
That's a great point. That we came in to this looking at things that. It's all about collaboration. Reno is too small not to.
It's about that.
Align yourself with people, create some collaboration, as opposed to the very Hollywood mentality of no, this is my ball, and
can't play with it.
You can't play with it.
Yeah,
and we want to work with other creators out there.
No, and there's plenty. We have so many good creators, and I feel like this is Reno's time, and the whole musicians rehearsal center, you guys, if you're in town, you really need to come see it. And if you have a band or you're a singer or you want to have an event, there's so much you can offer. And I know I'm saving up because my theme song was going to be produced here, and I'm really excited about that. And so we'll probably do behind the scenes of that as well and it'll give you a firsthand of how that works. I think a lot of people just assume it just happens. There's a lot that goes behind it.
You have no idea how much work goes into just a simple 1-minute video. It's insane. But.
So we're almost out of time. I would love each of you to share something that we don't know about you and how to get a hold of you.
Ooh. Let's start with getting a hold.
Do that first.
I need to think about the other one real quick. But you can get a hold of us on our website at angelphoenix.com. And then we've just switched over all of our social media. So it's Facebook, Instagram.com/Angel Phoenix Productions.
Okay.
And a lot of examples of the work that we do, ways to contact us. And, it's one of those things where we want to be our best customer as well. So you're going to see a lot of high quality content coming to our social media.
Okay. I'm going to change your question. What is something you want to tell somebody who's interested in the business?
Ooh.
And you'll be thinking about it because you're going to have to talk fast. So you talk fast. Are you ready? You want to beat him to it?
I think the biggest thing is that there's no shame in asking for help.
Perfect.
Yeah. I think Christian and I absolutely love people, love working with people. We're both great storytellers. And, I want to see people succeed. So quit wasting your time doing something that's not working. Come to us. We'll help you out. We can push it and we can really make your business, much, much more successful and
I like
vibrant.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
We have fun doing it too.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, it's really all about the fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Here we go. How about this one? It's hard to find things that won't sell online. I don't think that's that exciting. Darn it. Okay. This one, we'll be really quick. Content builds relationships. Relationships are built on trust. Trust drives revenue. That's a perfect one to end the show with because you guys are trustworthy and you're ready to help build all of our revenues.
I don't think that could have been said any better.
I love it. So one more time, thank you. Say your website one more time.
Angelphoenix.com.
Okay. Blaine, thank you. Christian, thank you. It's About Town Deb with City Talk. I'll be back next week. And I'll be with Amber Hill, Leading with Love. And we never know what we're going to say, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you next week.
This podcast was a production of Angel Phoenix Productions. Explore more episodes of this show or other great shows on the Angel Phoenix Podcast Network by visiting angelphoenix.com. The views expressed in this show do not necessarily represent those of Angel Phoenix Productions or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.